Hello, everybody.
What?
As we approach Veterans Day, I wanted to stop by and just say thank you for your extraordinary service to you, your family. The sacrifices that all of you made to protect our country is something that will always be honored. And we are very grateful, and we also happen to welcome you with the 70-degree day in D.C., which doesn't always happen around here. Sir?
That's the first time I've seen a president, former or current, greet an honor flight, and that is absolutely amazing. A commander-in-chief, a leader who's going to show up and tell you that your service was worth something. I think that's the important part, so I think it was a great thing to happen.
Last time I got to see a president, it was Gerald Ford.
How about that?
It was a joy in my heart today to see all these people. It's good. We still got people in our country, and that's good.
I had tears in my eyes. I just couldn't believe that there was that many people around that remembered us and was there to greet us, and it was just unbelievable.
Well, it means a lot because back then you got off the plane there and you had no welcome and people were almost booing you.
I'm real happy that now with current troops that come back from deployments, they get welcomed back really nice because that's what should happen. So it's being recreated in this flight and it makes you feel good.
I haven't flown for 50 years. I was in the military from 72 to 76. Our country puts these things up, these memorials, honoring the men and women that served. You couldn't ask for something greater.
This is my president.
Everybody.
What?
As we approach Veterans Day, I wanted to stop by and just say thank you for your extraordinary service to you, your family. The sacrifices that all of you made to protect our country is something that will always be honored. And we are very grateful, and we also happen to welcome you with the 70-degree day in D.C., which doesn't always happen around here.
That's the first time I've seen a president, former or current, greet an honor flight, and that is absolutely amazing.
Sometimes I feel like this country took this man for granted compared to what we have now. That man would never. That man did a whole speech and voiced it about himself and his administration and what he felt like was good for everybody. And this man is not even president anymore, and he still is doing the duties that some presidents have not done in years. Still honoring people, carrying yourself with dignity. Like, it makes me sad to think that that is the man that's representing us. It makes me sad. And it makes me miss him. Damn, I miss that man. I hate that man in office now.
I just started crying because I saw a video of former President Obama getting on an airplane full of veterans, getting on the little telephone walkie-talkie thing, getting his beautiful, deep, amazing baritone voice on that phone and saying, I thank you for all of the service that you've done for this country. I appreciate each and every one of you. And then he stood outside of that airplane and he shook every single one of those former veterans' hands, and they were overjoyed to have him there. Someone so important to be there and recognize them. And I was overwhelmed with the emotions that I have inside my body that came pouring out of me by seeing a president do something that used to happen on a normal fucking Tuesday. And here we are, a former president, hasn't been in office for over a decade, is still doing something so grateful. And the other one, I guarantee you is not. I haven't even looked, but I guarantee you that he's not. So just remind yourselves what we're fucking doing here. Because I see a clear difference. I see a clear difference in those two respects. Don't you?
Hello and good morning. I'm sorry. I'm a little emotional. I just saw this story about the honor flight from Wisconsin that had veterans from the Korean War and the Vietnam War. Sorry. Anyway, when the plane landed, guess who spoke to those So he got up there and he just said a few words and thanked them for their service. And as they were deplaning, he shook their hands and again reiterated the thank you for your service. And the reason why I guess it just made me emotional is because this is what they deserve, right? They're at the end of their lives. They deserve to be respected and honored. But not only that, we know that other syphilitic Sid, we know he couldn't do it. He wouldn't do it unless he made it about himself. And so I'm going to not talk about him, but I'm just going to say, bravo, Mr. Obama. That was well done. And I know that they do these things all the time, and I know it looks good. It's a photo op. We know all of that. But the level of decency and kindness is what we're missing right now. He didn't get up there and ramble and talk about how terrible the country is, and he didn't get up there and he didn't talk about Sid at all. He just thanked those men and women and their families for their service and wished them well on a balmy day. So to all those veterans, thank you for your service. The ones serving, the ones that gave the ultimate sacrifice. That's what it should look like. Honor and decency. Don't worry, I'll be back later to trash talk Sid. Don't worry, it's coming. But I just wanted to at least acknowledge that this morning. Okay, bye.
You absolutely have to see this clip of President Obama, and this is how our veterans should be treated every single day.
In Vietnam, it's all free for them. We show them all their monuments and explain what their monuments are about. We just try to treat them with dignity that some of them didn't get when they came home from the war.
Hello, everybody. What? As we approach Veterans Day, I wanted to stop by and just say thank you for your extraordinary service to you, your family. The sacrifices that all of you made to protect our country is something that will always be honored. And we are very grateful, and we also happen to welcome you with the 70-degree day in D.C., which doesn't always happen around here.
That's the first time I've seen a president, former or current, greet an honor flight, and that is absolutely amazing.
What President Obama did shouldn't be amazing, but it is. And that is exactly how every single veteran we have here in the United States should be treated every single day, not just on Veterans Day. And I am the proud granddaughter of a veteran of World War II. And this, I know I'm very emotional, but thank you, President Obama, for doing this and recognizing their service.
Hello, everybody. As we approach Veterans Day, I just wanted to stop by and just say thank you.
Thank you for your extraordinary service to you, your family. The sacrifices that all of you made to protect our country is something that will always be honored.
And we are very grateful and also happen to welcome you with a 70-degree day.
The 70-degree day in D.C., which doesn't always happen around here.
That is what Barack Obama said to old veterans from, the Vietnam War, people who had sacrificed their lives, man, on an airplane. He surprised them. And a lot of them were white guys. Old white guys were like, oh my God. They were happy to see this, man, that somebody cared, man, because a lot of veterans have been treated like shit. A lot of veterans that have sacrificed themselves in past wars have come back home to nothing. Come back home to booing, come back home to just being ignored. Homelessness, not getting their Medicare. And this video, listen, man, in this landscape right now, we need a little bit of humanity. A little something, a modicum of humanity, man. And I thought that was super cool what Barrack did, man. That was cool, man. That's how a president is supposed to act. I voted for Barack Obama. I don't agree. I never agreed with everything he did. I didn't agree with everything he did. There were some things that was mad foul that he's done, but there has to be some kind of humanity. And one thing Barack has is humanity. You feel like he's your friend. you feel like he's your friend, right? You feel like, man, this guy looks like a guy I want to meet. And for him to do that, really, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be keeping 100. I almost teared up on that. I felt so bad for those dudes, man, that they literally felt like nobody cared about us, you know? And I felt for that. And you guys love to come at me going, yo, man, you always talking about race, you don't like white. I said, that ain't it. I love people, man. I like when people get treated properly. I respect the people in the armed forces. I respect all of you. I have friends in the Navy, Army, Marines, Air Force. I have friends in that. And I have so much respect for what you guys do. But I'll be the first one to check your ass when you're being racist and being ridiculous or being super sexist. You know, I'm gonna check you on that. This is the time where I hope we've learned our lesson. A lot of you voted for your own demise. All this foolishness, voting out of hate, voting because you don't like black people or Mexican people and like that. And now a lot of MAGA people are in line right now looking for food because you were so adamant about a woman, especially a woman of color, not being president. And this is what has happened to you. Hey, man, I wanted Trump to do well. I wanted him to, hey, man, hey, you know what? It is what it is. Whoever's in office, I hope they do a decent job. And it's chaos and it's foolishness right now, you know, and you have to know this. And this is a human thing now. I think that this video, everybody should watch it. And it's what we need right now. Some humanity, man, and know that, and I don't want to sound corny, but that we should all be, you know, treating each other with some respect. Real talk, because this is a classism issue right now. So shout out to all the veterans for Veterans Day. I respect you. I respect what you've done, your sacrifices. And let's hopefully get some change in this bullshit ass administration.
I'm just thinking about all of the grief that President Obama had to endure from the right in this country during the 8 years of his presidency. Now, consider the elegance and the grace and the professionalism with which this man conducted himself on a daily basis in the Oval Office. Whether you voted for him or not, there was nothing to be ashamed about when it came to his character, his family, the way that he interacted with other people, even when he was called out in the House chamber by a Republican during the State of the Union address where he was called a liar. Did you notice Obama did not respond in kind? He was famously known as No Drama Obama. Why? Because that's what leadership looks like. Strength under control. Every day he came in and he did what he was supposed to do, and he did it quietly, he did it powerfully, and he did it with class. Compare how Obama conducted himself with how we see Republicans conducting themselves today. Whether it's Markwayne Mullin in the Senate, whether it is the chaos that is happening right now with House Republicans in the House of Representatives, or whether it's the nonsense being uttered by the former President of the United States. Nothing compares to the class, the grace, the strength, and the elegance of this man. May we have leadership like this in our country once again.
As a veteran who served this country, over the past 10 years, I have truly lost my faith in my service to this country, the way that the country is going now, the direction in which the country is going now, led by this regime. But when I see former President Barack Obama show up at D.C. Reagan Airport to surprise a group of veterans who are doing an honor flight, to thank them for their service and to shake each and every single one of their hands, thanking them for their service to this country, it restores my faith in my service to this country. Watch how former President Barack Obama greets and thanks and honors those who have served.
Hello, everybody. What? As we approach Veterans Day, I wanted to stop by and just say thank you for your extraordinary service to you, your family. The sacrifices that all of you made to protect our country is something that will always be honored. And we are very grateful, and we also happen to welcome you with a 70-degree day in D.C., which doesn't always happen around here. Sir.
That's the first time I've seen a president, former or current, greet an honor flight, and that is absolutely amazing. A commander-in-chief, a leader who's going to show up and tell you that your service was worth something. I think that's the important part, so I think it was a great thing that happened.
Last time I got to see a president, it was Gerald Ford.
How about that?
It was really joy in my heart today to see all these people. It's good. We still got people in our country, and that's good.
I had tears in my eyes. I just couldn't believe that there was that many people around that remembered us and was there to greet us, and it was just unbelievable.
Former President Barack Obama did not go on that plane and look at those veterans and say, oh, you voted for Trump, I'm not going to shake your hand. Our veterans are being impacted right now with this current administration and their draconian policies. Many of our disabled veterans right now depend on SNAP benefits in which they are not receiving. So if you voted for this regime and this administration, don't thank a veteran. Don't thank a veteran for Veterans Day because you voted against our benefits.
On Veterans Day, we're supposed to honor the brave men and women who put their lives on the line for this country, but Donald Trump simply can't do that. He just had to make this speech all about himself and, of course, spread a few lies while he's at it. Take a look at this.
Veterans, we have a 92% approval rating. We took that up from 38% from a certain previous administration that we won't mention.
A 92% approval rating. That's a lie so big you can see it from space. It's unbelievable. Donald Trump's not using Veterans Day to honor the veterans. He's using it to honor himself. His ego is out of control, but the crazy part is he expects people to believe this nonsense instead of reality, polls, and actual data. We're currently 295 days into Donald Trump's second term, and he has a 39% approval rating. That's, of course, nowhere near 92% like he's trying to claim, but over half of all Americans blame him directly for making their lives worse. The contrast here is crazy. Today, Barack Obama surprised a flight of veterans as they were entering D.C., shaking all of their hands and saluting them. He looked them in the eye and honored their service with genuine gratitude and respect. That is leadership. You can feel the difference here. One man uses veterans as a backdrop for his own ego. The other one shows up to shake their hands and salute them. One of them makes everything about himself. The other one knows it's not about him, it's about them and the country they protected.
It's Veterans Day, and once again, Donald Trump is embarrassing the United States. He says he's going to start calling today Victory Day because, in his opinion, the United States won World War I and World War II.
As you know, today is not only Veterans Day, but it's my proclamation that we are now going to be saying and calling Victory Day for World War I. Victory Day. You know, I was recently at an event and I saw France was celebrating Victory Day, but we didn't. And I saw France was celebrating another Victory Day for World War II. And other countries were celebrating. They were all celebrating. We're the one that won the wars. And I said, from now on, we're going to say Victory Day for World War I and World War II.
Now, for the record, during World War I, our allies include France, the United Kingdom, Russia, Italy, Japan, and other countries. And for World War II, our allies include the United Kingdom, the Soviet Union, China, France, and other countries.
And we could do for plenty of other wars, but we'll start with those two. Maybe someday somebody else will add a couple of more because we won a lot of good ones. But when I see other countries celebrating Victory Day, I watched it. I watched UK, I watched Russia. They were celebrating Victory Day, World War II. And I said, we got to have a Victory Day. Nobody even talked about it in our country. But from now on, we're going to be celebrating Victory Day for World War I, for World War II, and frankly, for everything else. Under the Trump administration, we're restoring the pride and the winning spirit of the United States military. That's why we have officially renamed the Department of Defense back to the original name, Department of War. And remember, we won World War I, we won World War II, we won everything in between, we won everything that came before, and then we brilliantly decided to change the name of this great thing that we all created together, and we became politically correct. We don't like being politically correct, so we're not going to be politically correct anymore. From now on, when we fight a war, we only fight for one reason: to win. We fight to win.
Now that, ladies and gentlemen, shows that Donald Trump does not respect our men and women in uniform, and he doesn't even understand history because he's disrespecting our allies who we helped win the world wars. And about the rebranding of the Department of Defense into the Department of War. That's a slap in the face, ladies and gentlemen, as far as I'm concerned, for all the men and women who've laid down their lives or served this country in some capacity to bring peace to the United States. What a disgrace. Grow up, Trump.
No, Obama was not a perfect president, but you know what he never, ever fucking did? He never goddamn embarrassed me. Cool, calm, collected, poised, educated, intelligent. Like, oh, I miss my man. I miss him.
Oh, well, everyone is crying. That is who a president should be. And that is what a president should look like. And that is how a president should actually behave. Right now, Americans want him back. And they're asking for him to return if possible. But do you think Obama is going to come back for presidency? I mean, him honoring these veterans is out of this world. This is not just who the president of America should be, but this is a legacy that will live with him forever. To be honest, this man is a guy's guy. That's what I would say. He's just like everybody's buddy, you know, everybody's guy, everybody's uncle, everybody's friend. I mean, that speech was needed at that point, at that time, even when Trump was trying all he could to make sure they canceled the whole, you know, Veterans Day to Freedom or whatever he said, Victory Day or whatever it is. I am sure right now he's crying. In fact, he's enraged. He will be like, what is this? But do people really like Obama that much? If Obama comes back to be your president, are you going to vote him? Come on, that thing that happened, I don't think the president of my country, Nigeria, would do it. They're so full of pride. And they're so full of themselves. It doesn't matter if they've been in the army before or anything, but come on. You see this? I could watch this video over and over again. This is beautiful. This is what an American leader should look like. Obama, you won our hearts. You won our hearts. And we pray that America keep getting leaders like this, because this is the kind of leader that befits the world. You know, America is #1 in the world, so they don't need presidents that talks like touts, right? Or what do you think? This is a worthy president. This is a cheerful president. This is a sweet president. Anyways, I want to see your thoughts in the comments. What do you think? Nobody should be. Please kindly subscribe, like, share this video. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. This happened like 4 days ago, but I had to bring it today because I'm just seeing it right now. Wow, and this really melted my heart so much. I'll see you next time. I love Obama, to be honest. Bye, guys.